Hello, Bridge Tea here, and welcome back to my channel. Hello. That is not clickbait in the title, but you are going to be talking about my booty this entire video, pretty much. So that's cool. That's fun. I can't wait. Quick disclaimer here before I start. I'll be talking about a lot of medical things, some mentions of death and dying and all that kind of fun stuff. So if that's something you just can't handle, you can go click on any other video in my channel. Honestly, I just do gaming mostly, or was doing mostly gaming for a while. So, hi, bye. Hi, bye, have a nice day. Those of you who just clicked on this video because you're hoping for an update on my laptop situation, it is still currently broken. So yes, I am talking about my butt. I have talked about it several times on this channel because I have something called Crohn's disease, and I do not keep my mouth shut about it because why not overshare on the internet? But yeah, I have other videos on it. I have other ones about this exact scenario that I'm going to be talking about here anywhere on my channel. This is just gonna be a short recap so people know what I'm talking about, because this video is me talking about sorry, I keep saying, do you know what I'm talking about yet? I haven't told you, but do you know what I'm talking about yet? I hope you know. I'm annoying, sorry. I just had surgery April 15th, so I'm 2 months out now. Just had surgery to reverse my ostomy, and I do have the reason, the full story of how I ended up with an ileostomy on my channel. It is an hour long though. I cry in it, I'm emotional in it, because literally that was filmed, I don't even think, a full month after the whole situation happened. I was just trying to document it, and then I posted it because why not, I guess, overshare on the internet, like I said. I'm gonna do a quick recap that's not that quick, but it's obviously gonna be less than an hour so people understand, so if you don't want to watch that video, you don't have to. But yeah. So beginning of the story was pretty much in 2018. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. For people who don't know what that is, it is an autoimmune disease that attacks your GI tract. So anywhere from your mouth to your butthole. It's lovely. It's fun. It's the equivalent of your immune system doing that stop hitting yourself thing. And you're sitting here being yeah, okay, well, if you would stop first, that'd be great. When I was diagnosed, I was told I had mild to moderate Crohn's, so it wasn't that bad of a case. Which to this day, I don't know why I was told that, because that is not the case with my Crohn's disease. Mine was actually more moderate to severe, which is quite a bit big of a difference. I also was told about in 2019-ish that my Crohn's was under control due to the medication that I was taking. That was also not true, and I don't know why I was told that. I still don't know. I'm not going to ask these doctors because I'm done with them. But whatevs, it's fine. So I just went along with life. Let's fast forward, because that's what we do. In 2022, I got my ass handed to me by Crohn's, essentially. That's when it all came crashing down. That I found out that it was not controlled, things were not okay. I was not alright. I ended up in the ER, and very quickly I found out that I was dying. I had a bunch of Crohn's complications that should have never gotten that far. I had a bunch of tears in my GI tract, in my colon. I had mass inflammation, I had a blockage, and the huge problem I had was an abscess, an infection that was going on. So not only did I have holes allowing everything that was in my GI tract to come out, I also just had this great little pocket of infection adding to the mess. It was spicy, it was gross, it was nasty. My surgeon told me some things later I didn't want to know that he found in me. I'm not even gonna go there. But yes, the only way to save me and reverse the sepsis that I was having was to go to emergency surgery and get all the nasty out of me, get all the diseased intestine out of me. And I had to get a temporary ileostomy because I had to let my remaining colon stuff heal before I could use it again. So for people who don't know what an ileostomy, you can just Google. I'm joking. You can Google, but my renderization of it might be a little graphic, whatevs. There's not a good way to actually say it without being kind of gross. But essentially is they took my bit of small intestine and put pretty much a hole in my stomach and pulled it through the hole, sewed it to my skin, so about this much, I want to say about that much, of my small intestine was outside of my body. And then I had to get ostomy bags, which I did not grab one right now. I still have some of mine. I didn't grab that for an example, so I'll go do that real quick. I found one. I haven't donated them all yet, but yeah. So I would have this. Oh, that's a hair tie. That would not be part of it. But yeah, it would just sit like this. So yeah. So I had one of these fancy little things, and you know, this kind of, I think I explained them more in other videos. I think I actually even have an ostomy, like, video on there, and I'm literally doing this out of habit, but yeah, it actually looked like this. They're cute. I like these ones. These were cute. But yeah, I had that for a while. And I was originally told that I would have it for only 6 months. Like, everyone was so adamant on 6 months. They're just like, don't worry, honey, it's only gonna be 6 months. It's only gonna be 6 months. You're still pretty. Which kind of, like, upset me quite a bit. Like, when they're like, don't worry, you're still pretty. I'm like, I know I'm still pretty, okay? All right. But also I know I'm pretty to me. I have the personality like this for a reason. It's because I have a face like this. But yeah, no, it was just really annoying. But they're like, you're only gonna have it for 6 months. By next summer, you'll be able to wear that bikini again. Which, funny enough, I still wore a bikini anyway with one, so. But anyway, we're moving on because I'm getting too stuck up on that. I'm like remembering all the sensory issues that I had with it. Or like the fact that sometimes we get itchy underneath and then you're like, ah, crap, I can't itch it. But anyway, moving on. Moving on. After about a few months, I went into, I think I have an update about this too somewhere. I don't remember if I posted or not. But I had to go in for other testing to make sure that the type of Ehlers-Danlos I had wasn't going to interfere with the future surgery, because again, the ileostomy was only temporary. And I got testing done. Everything was good. We're good. I was okayed. And then I got to the very final test. And I pretty much had green flags all the way through. Like, we were pretty sure my meds were working, everything like that. Which, quick disclaimer and story about the meds real quick, because this is going to make more sense in a few minutes. My original doctor, my OG, the one I got after this, wanted me to be on this one specific medication. But the medication doesn't have a generic version of it. It is only brand name, so it's hella expensive. So expensive. And Crohn's meds are already, like, in the territory of, I can't believe this cost this much money because people need this to live type of thing. But that's America for you. And my insurance said no. She has to try a different medication first. And so we couldn't fight it anymore. So this is for like the 6 months that led up to this test, I was on that medication. We were all the time, like, we were assuming that everything was fine and green. Like, so all my tests came back positive for growth. I mean, positive for healing, positive for the lack of Crohn's in general. Get to the final test, and turns out I have a major, moderate to severe Crohn's attack in my colon, which some of my testing would not have shown because that part of my body was no longer in use. It was not connected, so they couldn't, like, I don't know, take a stool sample or anything because there's nothing running through it. It's just there, existing somewhere in me. So my surgery got put off. And the thing is with Crohn's medications, you have to be on them at least 6 months before you see any, like, full, like, medication workage. I don't really know what I'm saying by that. I got distracted by a noise outside. So my doctor had to go back, and it was like, I had a feeling this med wasn't going to work, but I couldn't do anything because of the insurance. So we are going to petition to their insurance to get that original medication to you because you failed the one that they asked you to, and they should approve it. Guess what they did? They didn't approve it. But the medication that they said that I had to try first, they had to petition to my insurance that I couldn't be on it because I had already failed the sister drug to it. So that added like an extra month onto everything, which was annoying. And then I had to do another 6 month stint on this medication. Then I had to go I had to go to another colonoscopy. 2 in 1 year is too much. Especially for me because I have trauma over it, but I'm not getting into that. But 2 for any person is way too much in 1 year. Like, nobody needs that many, like, pictures of their ass. And luckily, by that point, even though I was ready to be told bad news, because at this point it's been a year and a half, almost. Oh yeah, a year and a half. Because things got delayed further, blah blah blah. I didn't speak of it, but it did. But it was a year and a half, and I expected bad news. Didn't get bad news, obviously, because here we are talking about how I had surgery. Yeah, no, I got approved, actually. I talked about this a little bit in my last video. I was approved for surgery. It was a lot, because I didn't think it was ever going to happen. I was, like, in my head after getting all these setbacks, my Crohn's not being controlled, and failing 2 medications, and all this. Like, my body is just not one of those bodies that listens very well. So I was already in my head getting ready to be told that my ileostomy would be permanent. Like, this was what was happening in my head. I was like, okay, I can live with this. Like, I've lived with this almost 2 years at this point. It's been a year and a half. I can live like this. Yeah, so when I got the okay for the surgery, I was like, was baffled. I'm like, are you sure? Like, we're doing this? Okay. Anyway, with Crohn's medication, you make sure you're immunocompromised, blah, blah, blah. I recognize I said that already. And you have to skip a dose of your meds and stuff like that to lower your risk of infection. So I had 2 months to process that. I think that's where I did my last, like, update on my life right there was, yeah, I was processing it. And I kept waiting for the fear to hit me because I have a bucket full of medical trauma. I've been through things that no sane person should. It's why I'm funny now. And I was waiting for myself to back out, to run away, to say I couldn't handle it, reschedule, whatever. It never happened, actually. I literally made it all the way up to the day of surgery, fully wanting to do it. Like, I guess I went to therapy hard enough. I did therapy once. I won therapy. It was just so surreal, though, because it was the same hospital, same surgeon, because I kept with him. Same hospital. I went in the front door this time, though, which I have never done, because the times before, I came in through the ER. So that felt really weird to me for some reason, and actually being checked in, like, how actual people get checked in who have appointments and stuff like that, and being, like, triaged for surgery and doing that whole thing. And I had my partner with me and my best friend. This isn't the partner from the last video. Don't worry about that. We didn't get back together. No, different partner. But they were with me. It was really nice because they got to stay with me the whole time because everyone was fully aware that I am a panicker. I will panic so hard I'll throw up. And they got to bring me back there with them. It was great. I did have a lot of anxiety. Had a mild anxiety attack in the bathroom. Not gonna lie. That was not a pretty moment when you're sitting there in a hospital bathroom in your little gown and you're like... Yeah, it was not great. Not great. But, like, you know, not the worst thing in the world. Could have been worse. Could have been sepsis again. Ha! I still had a panic attack, though. Right when they were taking me back, I had a panic attack, which... everyone was fully ready for me to do, which I am so grateful for that. Nobody was shocked. What shocked them is that they gave me anxiety meds through my IV, and I could fully consented to these. As long as it's not Xanax, I'm perfectly fine. I can't have Xanax, which is not usually what they give you before surgery, I found out. So that's good. They gave me something, and I'm literally sitting here like, okay, all right, we're good. It's gonna work soon. Anytime now, guys. Anytime now, I'll stop panicking. I never stopped panicking. Like, I never stopped panicking. Like, I'm fully waiting to feel, like, calm as shit. Like, I'm ready to zoink out. I'm ready to be like, I'm good. This is great. Never happened. They literally waited for, like, 5 minutes. Or maybe, I think maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and, like, the lady's like, oh, this isn't gonna work. We're just gonna take you back. We're just gonna go back. We're just gonna do it. I'm like, yeah, do that. Do that. Go. And so they're, like, taking me down the ER, and I'm sitting here just absolutely losing it, just trying to get my composure back, and I'm like, oh, God. And they get me back there, and someone's like, I heard somebody be like, I thought we gave her anxiety meds. Like, we did. We did. And I, like, literally, I responded, was like, they're not working. They don't work. Try it again. They did not try it again. So they just knocked my shit out. Yeah. So woke up a few hours later. The surgery was like 2.5 hours, like 2 to 2.5 hours. They really got me good though, because they just completely obliterate me with anxiety meds and all sorts of stuff, which again, did not really work. They just made me extremely in and out of things. panicking on and off, but still, they worked enough. But like, that was fine. Everything was actually really good. I had no complaints. But you know what was so weird though? Like, when I woke up, I was just like, this room looks really familiar, but I'm in the same hospital and I'm on the same floor that I was originally admitted to, which was I think the 8th floor, surgery floor, or whatever. So I just assumed all the rooms looked the same and that I was just happy to face the same way. And I talked to my nurse and I'm like, God, this lady looks kind of familiar. I don't know, man. I have no facial recognition at all, though. And she helped me up, and we went to go walk around, because they actually have you walk, if you have, like, pretty soon after surgery. I don't know if people know that. If you have surgery, you probably know. But yeah, I had abdominal surgery, and I still had me walk. And I'm like, yeah, I want to walk. I want to stretch. My back hurts. So I started walking around the hallway, and when I turned around, I was like, oh my God. That is the same room I was admitted to when I had my first surgery. And the lady goes, yeah, I know. My nurse does. And she's helping me back into bed at this point. And she's like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, how do you know that? And she's just like, I'm your nurse from 2 years ago. I was the one who helped you the first time around. I'm so happy that I've seen you again, so I know the end of your story. Oh my God, I can't believe this. But she's like, I remember you. And I'm like, that is so weird. Like, out of all the rooms I could have had, because there was quite a few up there, and all the nurses I could have had, it happened to be the same exact nurse in the same exact room. But yeah, the only requirement for this type of, well, at least for me, for this type of surgery, since there was no complications during, was that I had to be there 3 to 5 days. And the requirement to leave is you had to poop, which luckily I was able to do that. But oh, that God, the first night I had gas from hell. Like, not the other way, because that wasn't working yet. I was burping so bad. It felt like hell. Like, I think you probably saw it earlier when I showed you the bag, but I'm going to show you my scars right now, like, so you know what I'm talking about. Like, this one down here is from the original incision, but this is my new one. They tried to go over the old one. He kind of missed a little angry about that. But yeah, I had this. So like, this top part was all stitched, and this was to a certain extent stitched. Kind of. I'll explain it in a second. So when I would burp, it hurt so bad because all those muscles have just been screwed up. They're angry, they're upset. Oh, I was burping from hell. That was the only time I was regretting my decisions hard. I was like, oh my God, it didn't hurt before, now it hurts, and I really wish I didn't do this. The nurse was like, honey, you're just in pain, it's fine. But yeah, I think that was like the worst. And also the bed made my back hurt. But I was done being there by day 2. Like, by the end of day 2, I'm like, I'm freaking done. I want out. So I was like keen on it. I was like sitting here being like, think shitty thoughts. I don't know. Like, I was just like, how can I make my body work so I can leave? So like, I was like walking up and down the hallways a bunch, trying to get my GI tract to wake up again. They were giving me meds to try to make it wake up again. And I was determined to go home on day 3 because that was like the minimum amount of days I had to be there. And my nurse was like, oh, you might be here on 4 days just because of, it's fine, don't rush it. And I'm like, girl, I want to go home. I want my own bed. I want my cats. I want to not be under surveillance. Midnight day, going into day 3, and I'm like, this is the day. This is the day. I'm going home. And the night nurse was like, oh, honey, don't rush it. He's like, it'll probably happen. You'll probably be here 4 days. And I'm like, I am stubborn. I will make it work. Sure enough, about 3 hours later, I got him on the, like, in the little remote thing being like, Dee! And again, he picks up and I'm like, I'm going home today. Guess what? And he's like, what? And I'm like, I pooped. I did it. Give me my gold star. Give me my discharge papers. I'm leaving. And just puts it down. Being like, just girly things. I did it. I can do it. For the first time in almost 2 years, I can poop out of my ass. Sorry, maybe I'm taking that too far, but it's funny. Like, it's funny. It was weird. Not gonna lie, it's weird. But yeah, I was just like so ecstatic about it. Like, I've never been happier to shit in my life. Not once have I been that happy about it. And actually, not even since. Just that one time. And yeah, I was so excited. So like they came in and talked to me and he's like, okay, well, I'll let your day nurse know. And then you guess you're right. You probably are going home today. And I was so ecstatic. So great. My day nurse comes in a few hours later and is like, okay, I heard the news. Well, we'll see if you're able to like do it again today. And if you can, you'll probably go home. If not, we might keep you another day. And I'm like, girl, that was not part of the deal. You said once, you didn't say twice. I can't guarantee it's gonna happen again, but it did happen once. Don't make me do it twice. I don't know if I could. I don't know what this does. It's been out of order for 2 years. I can't guarantee crap anymore. Just the once. Could guarantee that once. Can't recreate it. No, I'm joking. Anyway, I think that joke has died at this point. Oh, hello. Here's my other cat. Oh, no. Okay, I'm back. My cat has laid down. Don't fully remember where I was, but yeah. But yeah, all intents and purposes, I was able to go home that day. But there was, a thing that happened that day that was completely unexpected. I was waiting for the discharge papers all day long. I knew they were that it was happening because my nurse was like gone most of the day and saying she was talking to my surgeon and all sorts of stuff. I walk in at one point after taking a walk around, the block or around the rooms, and there's discharge papers on my bed with a little note telling me to read and sign. I was like, oh, yes, I get to go home. I'm done here. This place. Everything, I'm ready. Like, nothing was bad there. I just wanted my own bed. I signed everything, and while I'm signing everything, my phone goes off, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I did just text my friend that, my roommate, that I probably am leaving soon, but it wasn't that kind of noise. It was the emergency alert noise. Like, the tornado noise. If you're in America, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if they have it in other countries, but it's just this loud noise. And I was like, what the hell? Look at my phone, and yeah, there's a tornado sighting near me. I'm like, what the heck? And I turn around, and yeah, like they had floor-to-ceiling windows in my room, and you could just see the clouds out there. It's dark. They're kind of swirly. It looks bad. I'm like, oh my God. And over the intercom, they have somebody come on going, hey, yeah, there was a tornado sighting really close. So everybody close your windows, step away from the windows, and go into your bathrooms. So I'm like sitting here with my discharge papers signed, ready to go. And now I'm sitting in the bathroom with tornado sirens going. And it was a thing. Like, it's literally 3 days after surgery and I'm sitting on a bathroom floor, which my nurse did come in and help me. She did get me a chair and like a table, which I did fall asleep in the chair while I waited, but like for 45 minutes. She's like, we were literally discharging you. Like, you are discharged right now, but you are not allowed to leave until the tornado issue is lifted. And I'm like, okay, all right. I hope it goes by quick. But yeah, a tornado came on my discharge. That's what I got. And like an hour or two later, I did go home. I did go home. I got what I wanted in the end. I got to go home and start that whole journey for my house, which recovery really was not that bad compared to the first time. Like, my surgeon kept telling me it wasn't going to be that bad. And I was like, well, the first time wasn't really that awful. No, it was comparatively. I had been recovering from multiple different incisions, something a little more complex, new way of life. But I also was recovering from sepsis, which hurt like a bitch. Like, every joint in my body felt like it was on fire for weeks afterwards. I had a pinched nerve in my back from the bed because of my EDS. I was just like, this time by like day 5, I just felt completely fine. Like, not completely, I was like still in a little bit of pain and stuff like that, but like, really, life was life. Like, I was so surprised how quickly you just kind of go back and like kind of forget how you were living beforehand. Like, again, like the first time around, I went from a normal person to having an ostomy, and that I thought it was going to take me weeks to get used to. My cat is licking himself behind the screen. I'm so sorry. I thought it was going to take me like weeks, months, years to get used to that new way of life. But once it happened and once I had it, it was like that like you just learn it and you live. It's just the way, like, it's how humans are built. So when I went from the ostomy back to regular, it was the same thing. It was even quicker because I didn't have to learn how to do anything. I didn't have to learn to change the bag. I didn't have to learn anything. It was just the same thing I learned as a toddler. Go use the toilet when you have to. Like, duh. But yeah, no. It is taking a while because, like, your ass does have to relearn itself. It still needs to figure out what the heck is going on. Like, it does not quite work right still 2 months out, and it could be up to a year that it finally works like it used to, which I don't even know what that means at this point because my Crohn's was so bad beforehand. I really don't know what normal is. I gotta find a new normal because my Crohn's is technically under control now. So, what's it gonna look like? What's it gonna be? Never thought I would fight for 2 years to have a surgery so that I can poop again like a normal person. And that's on me. That's on how I live. Oh my god. Yeah, we're pretty much near the end of the video. I think that's all like the real story. I'm just bullshitting now. I'll probably have other videos on this as things go by. It's just been a whirlwind. That's my story time really about that. I can't believe that whole era of my life has ended. I fought really hard for a year and a half, 2 years to be where I am now, and now that I'm here, I'm like, holy crap. Like, I literally just saw my surgeon for my last post-op. Yeah, it's post-op. Not off. Post-op appointment just a few days ago, and essentially I have no more restrictions because I had weight restrictions for 2 months. I pretty much can go back to being a normal person, like, and I'm just sitting here like, I did it. Like, I did it, but what do I do now? Like, thanks for watching. I appreciate if you made it this far. Like, subscribe, do all those fun things. I do have future plans for this channel. Just depends on if the computer gets fixed or if it doesn't, but there should be more videos to come, and less to do with my butt and less to do with medical stuff, because I really don't want to be a chronic illness channel. I just want to be here having fun. So, bye.